Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Startled by what he sees, Rafe dashes to the Salem Inn and storms into Vivian's room. Jada is on the phone making backup calls while Vivian lies comatose on the floor. Jada claims that she briefly turned around. Vivian's revolver went off when she reached for it. Her head struck the desk after she slumped backward. Gun in hand, Rafe enters the room dazed. When Vivian awakens at the hospital, Jada and Rafe are standing over her, shackled to a bed. How is her head feeling? Rafe asks. Commissioner Hernandez is informed by Vivian that she wants Jada to be taken into custody for assault. Jada is the acting commissioner, according to Rafe, who says he is not returning to duty. Vivian insists on speaking with the mayor in order to have Jada dismissed from the force. That won't happen, they tell her. She has been apprehended and will shortly be taken to jail. Nobody is going to help you, Rafe informs her. Vivian insists on talking to her attorney. Rafe informs her that she will be gone for a long time and that assaulting a police officer will be added to her charges. Jada promises to buy her a phone. Vivian and Jada Rafe at the hospital days. EJ phones Chad to check in at the DiMera home. He claims he has no idea what he is going through. At the Horton residence, Chad is simply thankful that he kept Kat a secret from the kids. EJ pledges to make sure Kat and Mark pay by using his resources as DA. EJ expresses his relief that Mark was unable to carry out his intended murder. Chad is thankful for his life, but he must relive the loss of Abigail. EJ expresses regret to him. As Ivan slips in, knocks down a vase, and slithers up the stairs, EJ hears a smash in the foyer. Chad is told by EJ that he must go look into the crash. Abruptly, Gabby hammers on the door, insisting on seeing Stefan. He believed she had finished with his brother, so he allowed her in. Stefan responds that he hasn't seen her, but she can check his room when she asks where he is. She makes the decision to do so and ascends the steps. Ivan quietly murmurs, "Don't worry, madam, I'll take care of everything," as he slips into Stefan's chamber upstairs. To give the impression that Stefan has left town, he packs up some of his belongings and takes a suitcase. Calling it a last thing to take care of, he then takes out an envelope. Ivan enters covertly dazed. Ivan conceals Stefan's bag behind a door while Gabby storms into Stefan's room. Ivan left an envelope for EJ, which Gabby notices. When EJ gets there, Gabby gives him Stefan's letter. By the time EJ opens and reads the clearly falsified letter, Stefan claims to be halfway across the Atlantic. He had to leave Salem because he still can't get over what EJ and Gabby did. Stefan claims that they are dead to him and that he will never forgive them. EJ follows Gabby as she flees the room. In the living area, EJ discovers Gabby studying her divorce documents. She screams at EJ to keep his hands off her and accuses him of trying to take advantage of her when he tries to console her. She claims that he is to blame for her marriage ending and that he just makes matters worse. Everywhere he goes, she tells him, he leaves a path of suffering. She came to EJ because Stefan had harmed her, he recalls her. He responds that this is his house when she yells for him to leave, yet he still leaves. Gabby and EJ clash. Days. When Ivan gets back to the Salem Inn, he discovers police tape on Vivian's door. After that, Vivian calls him. As they converse, Jada informs Rafe that Vivian is making her call back at the hospital in the waiting room. Then she asks Rafe why he is staring at her in this manner. He talks about how scared he was when he heard the gunshot and how happy he is she's okay. He responds that it's only fair since she cared about him over the months he spent in that hospital bed. She thanks him for worrying about her. She tells him she loves him just as much as Rafe tells her how much he loves her. Rafe drops to one knee and takes out his Tia's ring. He clarifies that this was not his original plan. A near-death experience helps you realize that time does not stop for anyone, even though he had a romantic supper and dancing scheduled. He informs her that Tia Hilda gave him the ring when she passed away, telling him to give it to a person he would love for the rest of his life. He proposes marriage to Jada. Rafe laughs that he wasn't anticipating an audience but wants an answer as all of the nurses and physicians pause to observe. Everyone cheers when Jada informs him that she will marry him, of course. Ivan, in the meantime, enters Vivian's chamber covertly and requests that she acquire a hacksaw so that she can be freed. She wonders what transpired at the mansion and won't allow him to take that chance. He claims that Gabby is upset after seeing EJ read the note to her after he left it. Vivian refers to it as a consolation award of some kind. Alone at the DiMera mansion, Gabby signs the divorce papers and agrees to grant Stefan his wish. The documents are signed by Gabby. Days. Chad has flashbacks to what transpired in Paris at the Horton residence. Steve arrives to see how he's doing. Chad is shocked that despite everyone's warnings, he allowed himself to think that woman was Abigail. Chad claims that his children would have lost both of their parents if it weren't for him, while Steve thinks that he let him down. Steve is informed by Chad that he saved his family. Steve informs him that his family is also involved. The text says, "Get the Days of Our Lives email from Soaps. Receive daily summaries, spoilers, exclusive interviews, and breaking news alerts delivered directly to your email. Sign up at https://cloud.email.soaps.com. Chad detests requesting another favor from Steve. He says he needs to get in to see Clyde because he went to see Kat and she doesn't know where Abigail's body is. At an appeals session, Steve announces that Clyde escaped. Steve assures Abigail that she will be at ease once more after they acquire the son of a bitch. Unexpectedly, Chad receives a call from an unidentified number. It's Clyde. Chad must do something for Clyde before he will allow him to be reunited with what remains of his sweetheart. The audience doesn't hear his suggestion until he informs Chad about it. Chad is asked what's happening by Steve. Chad doesn't want to give Steve away, and Clyde is aware that Steve is present. Tell him to go to hell, Clyde says, if the response is yes. To which Chad replies, go to hell. That's a good response, Clyde says, and he'll get back to you with more information. After hanging up, Chad tells Steve that Clyde only wanted to brag and wouldn't tell him anything. Steve believes he should focus on finding Clyde. Kat and Mark discuss in their Salem Police Department cells how Chad came to meet Abigail since her remains had gone missing. She feels silly for assuming he was coming to see how she was doing. Mark claims they had no option, but she believes Chad didn't deserve what they did to him. Kat believes that they must be practical. Clyde has kept his word, and there is no chance that their mother is still alive. Mark is unsure of how they will explain to their siblings that they lost their mother twice. They should tell them everything, even who she is, according to Kat. Mark hopes they haven't yet read in the newspaper about their arrest.